went through a range of emotions from beginning to end. And you guys shared your story, and obviously the beginning of knowing the diagnosis isn't always like the easiest news to get, especially if you're a first-time mom or you have other kids. It's really hard. But you guys navigated it so beautifully as we were talking. So my question to you guys, for new moms that are going through the same exact thing that you guys are going through, what advice do you have for new moms who are in the process of testing, nervous to test, or have gotten a diagnosis? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely. What I can share is that we didn't come together to bring fear. We're not here to scare anybody who's expecting, want to have children, or currently have children. We're doing this to bring awareness. And yes, there was a grieving process. We don't grieve in a sense that we feel like we're getting punished, for something we did in, pre-children or during, whatever. We are grieving what we pictured for this child, because now we're faced with all these obstacles and bumps in the road. But any neurotypical,
No, you're right.
Okay. Any neurotypical child is going to have bumps in the road. Ours just made it look a little different, but it's going to be okay. We talk about a lot of darkness, and we had to really, really put ourselves out there, and pray and question, why us, why them, why are we here? But in the end, you're gonna find the answer. Maybe you don't find it right away, but you're going to find the answer as to why. And maybe we don't, maybe in this lifetime we don't, but in the end, it's going to be okay. We are very blessed, and I'm sure we can all attest to this. We live in a country, we live in a Canada where we have these resources and we have these opportunities to see our children thrive in society. Because yes, there may be a stigma, but at the same time, I don't know what I'm getting at. Well, the support is there.
Yeah.
The support is there, and that's, professional support, personal support, because, sorry, you guys can.
I'll add to that.
I have to feel it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just.
No, exactly what you said. Trust your gut 100%.
Yeah.
Someone says no, you can take it, but think about it. And if your gut tells you something else, then go the other way. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Be an advocate for your child.
Advocate for your child. Cry. I cry all the time. But I don't even just cry for the situation that we're in, that she's in. I'm just an emotional person. Like, she actually probably made me a little bit more emotional, but I'm tougher. You know what I mean?
Crying is a release.
Yeah. Like, I'll cry to Iman, I'll cry to Allah, like, I'll cry to my sister. You know what I mean? Like, but it's okay to show that vulnerability, but then pick yourself up, because you're no good to them if you're down on the floor crying or mad at the world. Because I'm not going to say like, alhamdulillah, thank God for everything that he's given me. Like, I feel that way, but sometimes it's like, why? It's okay to say why. It's okay. Like, we're kind of like, no, you never question why. You always take what Allah's given you, what God's given you. I am taking it, but some days it's hard to take.
Yeah.
So, but like Iman said, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Our lives has been like this 10 years. Just 2 weeks ago, we were down here. But today, I'm up here. We're up here. And she's living, she's thriving, she's making doctors say, wow.
The good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
Always.
A lot. Always. And trust your gut. It's all like, you're a mom, your kid more than anybody. And yeah, you feel you're gonna feel bad about it. If you're the diagnosis, you think, oh my God, it's like Fatima said, that kid is still gonna be that kid. Yesterday, today, with a diagnosis, without one. It's just how we can help them maneuver this world, and you'll be amazed at what they teach you when you're trying to teach them.
I love that. I think from what I've heard, other parents, other moms mainly, say is they're scared. Would that be a fair assessment of, like, to get the test or to get the results, scared?
I was very
nervous?
scared. Absolutely. You don't go to a doctor's you're always hopeful, but you're always scared of the unknown because you don't know. It's true. But ultimately, in the end, getting a diagnosis is the start of a new chapter, and that fear slowly goes away.
Yeah.
Because now you're learning something new and how you can help your child, and help maneuver the world and all that stuff. So really, there is fear, but there's always going to be fear.
Yeah.
Every day you're gonna be faced with obstacles, but it's just the way you choose to accept, understand, educate, and feel the feels. I always say your feel the feels and your emotions are valid.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that it's okay to be nervous. If you had a child and they failed their hearing test, it's okay to be worried, even though it's very, very normal for them to use the line, oh, they might have fluid in their ears or in their ear canals. Okay, maybe. But you have to also understand there's a chance that they have hearing loss, some type of hearing loss. In my case, I wasn't, but you have to understand fear is real, but it's okay to feel your feels. And
yeah. And I think you guys all did say, and Fatima, I do want to hear your answer. With the fear, then the diagnosis came, then came the relief, and then you guys were able to really help and create a better space for your child, which is important.
I think I'm not going to reiterate what everybody else said because it's all 100% true. I think what I can add to it is that my advice to new moms would be, don't worry about the stigmas. Don't worry about the labels. Don't worry about what's this person going to think and don't get caught up in all that. Don't get caught up in all of that. Worry about what's happening with your child. And whether or not it's hearing loss or seizures and, or a genetic disorder or autism or any other disability, you can only do the best that you can do with what, God has given you. And if we continue to take this narrative and, change it from different is bad to different is just different, and take those stigmas away, we're only helping our kids. And if they continue, we allow our kids to understand, not just our kids, other people's kids, our families, and everybody in the world, to understand that inclusion is the only way. We can't keep worrying about it and worrying about a label and what is the doctor going to say. And you know what? You take it as it comes. And like you said, you feel your feels. And then you go on from there. Because it is going to be okay. It's going to be difficult. And like you said, with any neurotypical child, like I have 2 neurotypical children. I've had challenges and struggles with them, of course, as well. They look different than my neurodivergent children. They do look different. But it's the same idea. It's not a death sentence. And, alhamdulillah, it's not a death sentence. It's just a different way of being.
Yeah.
And, I'm very fortunate to have a partner in my life, my husband, who has been great support and wants to learn just as much as I want to learn, and who wants to attend appointments as much as I want to attend appointments. So that's another piece of advice is, rely on your spouse. Like you need
your
to.
village, build a community.
You need to. Don't take it on your own. I know myself, I can be very stubborn and no, I need to go to all the appointments and I need to teach him and I'm the mama, but he's also the dad. And I know we show emotions differently, we handle situations differently, but they are feeling it too.
Totally.
And don't ever belittle their emotions or response to what's going on. Just because it looks differently doesn't mean it is different. They're still feeling it as well.
And that's
100%.
not to say she doesn't really, I want to touch on your husband is your support for sure, but so find your support everywhere else.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
And that's not to say she doesn't her family doesn't
No.
it's not just you and
but
your
that's the
husband,
thing
it's
is
your
too.
family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It comes down to your support, and it doesn't mean it just has to be your mom and dad or your siblings. It could be friends. It could be, when you work with
You need
Rose
new friends
or
for sure.
it's amazing how many, I work with Connect Society quite a bit too, and it's amazing how many other families are going through what I'm going through, and you kind of forget. You feel like you're the only one in this situation, but they put you together, and it's awesome because you they can relate and they can understand, and that's sometimes the support you need. I'm part of an Instagram group where moms will say, hey, does anybody know what the wait time is for this doctor? And, you know, someone will pipe in and say, you know, I was just there and they said, you know, and they'll give information and pass it on. And I just love that because, you know, they don't need to pick up the phone and call the doctor's office. They can rely on these other moms. And I've actually never met any of them, but enough for us to feel comfortable to voice how we feel, especially when it comes to the resources and some of the fundings and all that stuff. And it's just a safe place. That's, I think, we all relate to. It's a safe place. So find your safe place, and whoever that may
Doesn't matter
be
who
or
it is.
what it is.
Exactly.
And I
Don't
think
shut
that's
down.
like even exaggerated more with COVID.
Yeah.
Like,
It is hard.
obviously, I don't know all your husbands, but I'm sure they're all amazing. But even with COVID, like, you do need that outlet,
Yes.
especially if your plate is always full and, you know, your cup's always full. But everything you said is 100%. After sitting with these amazing women, I'm excited for you guys to see our winter collection coming out later on this month. It's going to feature their amazing stories and some beautiful pieces. So I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming out. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Afflatushijab or on our website www.afflatushijab.com for any updates, for our new collections, and for everything that we're doing here in the community.